What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Chimney Soul back again with another live stream. Today we're gonna be previewing Brentford versus Arsenal, or Arsenal versus Brentford. Excuse me. Um, Look, this is a really big game. There's a lot riding on this, especially after the Man City result. Give me 1 second here. Okay. Yeah, if any of y'all saw the that result, it's a bit scary, I can't lie. Man City look like they're gonna slowly make gain on us. Which is a bit nerve wracking. Let's see what we have here. Wrong one. There you go. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Hello, everybody. Sorry about that. Yeah. Welcome to my stream. Started a new I was using a new software just to kind of make it go a little bit smoother. Let me know how everything looks. Let's see, what do we have here? Alrighty, let's see what we got here. Okay. Alright, let's see what we got here. right, let's see what we got here. Okay, it's a big, yeah, it is a big game for sure. Big up, but all right. So we got a few things to kind of talk about. Number one thing is the Saliba Gabriel Trossard issue that we have. Let's see here. So it looks like we probably won't have Saliba or Gabriel for this game, which is very unfortunate because they're pretty big to what we need. Let's see here. Let's see here. Okay, so it looks like Saliba will not be available, or well, it looks like Gabriel's definitely going to be out. Saliba might be available tomorrow, but we'll have to take a look to see here. It says Arsenal are still set to miss some key players over the next few weeks of action, even with several stars making a return from injury. It comes after the Gunners managed to get through an intense week. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so we got Nani Madueke back. We got Gabriel Martinelli. We got Martin Odegaard. And we got Victor Gyökeres. Okay, some key stars are still missing. William Saliba. I mean, if you look at Mikel's press conferences, it doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence that he's gonna be able to play tomorrow, man. Why is it always just it's one in and one out with Arsenal, man? Like we can never have like positivity when it comes to this kind of stuff. It's unfortunate, I can't lie, but what did he say? He said, injuries are killing us. Yeah, injuries are killing us. It's getting pretty bad because, look, I'll be honest with you. Every team will deal with injuries for sure, but our team seems to go through a lot of injuries. Like, it's crazy the amount of injuries that we have to go through. Let me see here. Okay, so William Saliba was a surprise absence over the weekend as he missed out on Arsenal's clash with Chelsea in the London Derby. Yeah, we already know that. The defender is set to undergo scans and tests to understand the full extent of his injury, which will determine how long he's out for. We just can never get lucky, man. And then they said predicted return date unknown. I mean, people were saying that this was just precautionary, but like, is it though? Like, is it really? Leandro Trossard. With all of the injury trouble this season, Leandro Trossard has been a key part of the forward line, keeping things together. Mikel Arteta said, we have to see how he's feeling. It doesn't look much. So we still have a few hours, and we have to wait and see. He could be available for Chelsea. Okay, so this was, I think, a few days ago. I thought this was today, but I guess it was a few days ago. December 1st. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that was yesterday. Okay, I don't know what this article's talking about, but he wasn't available for Chelsea, and I don't know if he's going to be available for Brentford tomorrow, which probably means that Gabriel Martinelli will probably be the one to start. And like you are right here, Rolex. Like injuries are killing us. Like it's so bad. Like I mean, I know other teams deal with injuries, but like the injuries that we deal with is just insane. It's crazy. Like I don't get why we deal with it so much more than everybody else, but it's just so bad, really really bad. Yeah. Okay, and then Gabriel Magalhaes is a key. He's key. He's missing. I think he's evolving. All right. One thing that cracks me up about Arteta is how he says evolving a lot. It's like, what is he evolving into? A Pokemon? Like, what are we doing here? But I don't know. I always love when he says they're evolving. Like, what are they evolving into? But he says we have to wait for the scan to be more precise in terms of timing. I'm quite confident, especially the way Gabby takes every injury and the way he's going to push. See, that's what I don't understand is like, what did he say? Yeah, Man City make me nervous. No, they really do. They really do make you nervous. Like, they make me nervous because I'm like, man, like, sure, their defense isn't great, but it's Holland, it's Phil Foden, like Cherky. When they start get going, it gets really rough. I can't lie, it's getting a little scary. But yeah, no, Man City definitely do make me really nervous. I can't lie. Yeah, but like this injury just doesn't make any sense with Gabriel because like they're saying his return date is December 2025. Well, we are in December of 2025. This is the present. But, like, when it happened during the international break, which was, 2 weeks ago? They were saying that they'll do the scans then and they'll look at it and whatever. And then now I'm like, well, what's going on? Like, we don't have any answers for this. I don't know. It's wild. Obviously, we know about Kai Havertz. It's been a tough season for Kai Havertz so far, who has been out of action with a knee issue. The forward required an operation on his knee, which was expected to recover by now, but it seems as though the recent setback is set to keep him out a little longer. And like that's the thing too, is like our players will get injured. Arteta will say, yeah, it's a few here and there, like we'll take a look. It's not too bad. He just felt something. Like, a lot of ominous words. And then the next thing you know, they're out for, 2 months. And then their return date is set for, pretty imminent. And then before you know it, they get a setback. And then they're injured again for even longer. It gets frustrating after a while. I don't know. I'm just when are we ever going to just have all our players back? When are they going to get injured? And then, they go through all their stuff, and then they're good to go. They're ready to go. I don't know. I don't know. But Gabriel Jesus, after nearly a whole year out, Gabriel Jesus finally made his way back into an Arsenal matchday squad. The forward has recovered from an ACL injury, but he's yet to make an appearance, as it is expected that Arteta will ease the Brazilian back into action in a measured manner. Yeah, I think Gabriel Jesus is going to be out for a long time. I don't see him being part of our immediate plans here soon. I can't lie to you. But I still love him, and I hope he comes back full strength. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay. All right, let's kind of look at this injury real quick. So there are plenty of injury updates for Arteta to get through in his press conference. He didn't confirm whether any of Arsenal's current absent stars will be back in action on Wednesday. Excuse me. He described the injury sustained to William Saliba as bizarre, and hinted that he could be back in action this week. Leandro Trossard should also make an imminent return, having sustained a knock in the 3-1 win over Bayern Munich that saw him miss Sunday's draw. Martin Odegaard returned from his lengthy layoff at the weekend, but failed to make an impact off the bench. Victor Gyökeres also back in action and is likely to return to Arteta's starting XL against the Bees. Gabriel and Kai remain weeks away from making their respective comebacks. Okay, so according to this, Sports Illustrated today, Gabriel and Kai are probably not going to make a return back this year. It's probably going to be next year that they'll make their return. And there's a possibility we could get Trossard and Saliba back, which would be very nice. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so this is the predicted lineup from Sports Illustrated. I'm going to make my own predictive lineup also. But there, Ryan goal, obviously. White. Oh, White. Okay, yeah. See, look, I do agree with this because Jurriën Timber has been playing a lot of games. Like it's just so much games that he's been playing. It's crazy. I think he definitely needs a rest, in my opinion, and I hope he does get it this game. I was kind of hoping he got it in the Champions League against Club Brugge, but or even against Crystal Palace in the Carabao Cup. But we'll take this. I mean, I think White has to step up. Like that's kind of what a squad is for, and if we need him to step up, we need him to step up. Like there's nothing else, you know. Let's see here. All right, so White, Saliba, and Capier and Calafiori. I think this is a very solid lineup. I think a lot of people were very harsh on Capier and Mosquera because, I mean, they just looked so much more nervous than what you get from William Saliba and Gabriel, which I could see where they're coming from with that. But you have to also remember that they have not played that many games together. They have like they're backups. Like they're supposed to slot in here and there. They're not supposed to be our main back line on any given day, right? Unless like we're playing a team where it's like a full, like they're resting, like maybe a Carabao Cup against like a second or third division team, right? But I do think that Capier looks good when he's with like Saliba and Gabriel, and the same thing with Mosquera. That's just my opinion on that. Yeah. All right, so here's the Brentford predicted lineups that they have. Kelleher in goal from Liverpool. He's their previous backup. Collins, Vandenberg, Ayer, Coyote, Yarmouk, Henderson, ex-Liverpool player, Henry, Damsgaard, Altara, and Thiago. Like, I will be honest with you guys. What is Rolex says in Capier Rise? And Capier Rise, he wasn't that bad during the weekend. I know he had a nervy start in the beginning, but I don't think it was that bad. People say like that it was obviously not as good as what we saw with a Saliba Gabriel partnership on a regular basis, but like I always say, they're backups. Like there's nothing you can expect from them. Let's see here. Okay, let's see here. All right. So so obviously we saw their predicted lineups for Sports Illustrated. I'll go ahead and build my own lineup. I think it's pretty easy. Ryan goal. I do agree with Sports Illustrated that Timber should take a break. I believe that Ben White. Yep, Ben White right there. Okay, here's where things get tricky. Obviously, Calafiori is very close to a yellow card accumulation that could possibly see him suspended. I think this is a huge issue because our run of games is very rough in the next few months. If I'm being honest, I think that we need to be very careful with him. I would start Miles Lewis-Skelly for this game. And I know people are saying that like this is not just some easy game that we can just like throw away. Like it needs to be like we need to be on it. We need to be serious. I completely agree. I think that it's not a throwaway game, and I completely understand. But I think you got to think about the fact that Calafiori can get that yellow card this game and get suspended, and then we lose him for Aston Villa, which is the much more important game, in my opinion. I don't know what you guys think, but I think that we start Miles Lewis-Skelly for this game. I'm going Miles Lewis-Skelly. No, if it was up to me, if Gabriel was like fit, I would put Nkapie there, but I would put Miles Lewis-Skelly for this game. That's just my opinion. We cannot lose I think Miles Lewis-Skelly is going through a rough patch. I think he's gonna lock in. He's gonna be better. But I don't know. I think we cannot lose Calafiori. It'll be nasty work if we lose Calafiori. That's just my opinion. So I'm gonna put I guess Nkapie. Oops. Nkapie. Piero Nkapie. We'll put him there. We will put Saliba if he is fit. Alright. I think this is the back line I'd go with. I don't know, what do you guys think? Would you guys agree with it? I think that's probably the best background or best back that we can go with. Okay, what did... Calafiori needs to start. We must win. Okay, yeah, I see where you're coming from because it's tough. Like Calafiore, okay, it literally comes down to this: can you trust Calafiore to not get a yellow card? If you cannot, then he cannot start. If you can't trust Calafiore to not get booked during this game, you have to you have to you gotta put him on the bench. I know Ya is saying that Calafiore is essentially our better left back, and that this is not a throwaway game. And I completely agree with you on it not being a throwaway game, but you can't just be I don't know, can't risk it. I think, in my opinion, I think that Aston Villa is the tougher test. I think we have to. I don't know. You gotta go for Villa more. I think it's the bigger game. It's the game we have to win more, and I think that's the one that you have to see kind of more as important. Now I do understand that when you are going for the title, like we are, you have to take every single game seriously. I understand, but circumstances happen, right? Calafiore, yellow card accumulation, Timber needs a rest. Like, all of these stuff, I think, are very important, and that's the reason why I would start Miles Lewis Skelly over Calafiore. That's just my opinion. All right, let's see here. Okay, midfield. What would we do with the midfield? Okay. Rice needs a rest. Rice has to get rest this month. Like, there has to be a game, whether it's the Crystal Palace game or the he has to get rest somehow. Like, it's, I don't know. I think Rice needs a rest, a breather. I would go with okay. Don't kill me, but this is the midfield I'd go with. I'd go Zubamendi. No, actually, I'd go Norgard. I would go Zubamendi. And I would go Odegaard. Now, I know this is kind of crazy. Now, hear me out. Mars Zubamendi, in my opinion, like, okay, this is clearly a double pivot, right? And then Odegaard. You play Norgard more in the deeper role, and you allow Zubamendi to kind of take the ball and progress more. And I think Zubamendi has been very solid, where you kind of see him drive into the midfield with the ball. Now, Rice plays more of a box-to-box, but Zubamendi won't play a box-to-box. He just play more as like a center mid, right? Like, he'd just be like, he'll be going like to carry the ball. Like, he's driving the ball, he's taking it, he's kind of he's linking up essentially with the strikers, because we know Norgard is going to do that. And then Norgard will kind of be the one to clean up after him. I think I would go with this lineup. In my opinion, I would go Norgard, Zubamendi. You have to give Declan Rice a breather. I think you do this. You have Declan Rice on the bench. If it doesn't work after halftime, you can slot him in, but at least he's gotten that half to rest. I think with Saliba back, there's a lot of quality in that back line where we don't need Rice to be playing. I think Miles Lewis Skelly can also invert, which allows kind of a midfield four when we are in possession, where you have two ball carriers and that defensive mid, and obviously the creative player. I think, and obviously Lewis Skelly can play good defense. Martin Zubimendi can play good defense. Like, I think the only thing that people might say is that you lose Rice's durability, his engine, his box to box presence, which I understand, but I think that it is possible to play this midfield against Brentford. I know Brentford is a very tough team, but we have to give Rice a breather. It's like the same thing I was saying with Calafiori, with his accumulation. Like, I'd rather have Rice and Calafiori available for Aston Villa than against Brentford. Mainly because I think we can beat Brentford with our B team, and this is a mixture of our B team and our, I guess, A-ish team. I don't know. That's just my opinion. What do you guys think? Do you think I'm crazy? I think this would work. I think this midfield three, you have to try it out. You have to give Rice a breather. So this is a double pivot and a Rice on the 10. Or you could play Norgard as the lone. I don't know if you could play Norgard as the lone 6 though, because I don't know if he's up to that level, in my opinion, but it's possible. I don't know. You guys let me know. But I think Norgard and Zubimendi double pivot can work against a team like Brentford. And obviously you'd put Odegaard as a creative player. I don't know. That's what I'd go with. What do you guys think? What did he say here? Norgard is not that good. Look, I know a lot of people say that people like he's definitely a drop off, obviously, in level from like a Declan Rice or a Zubimendi, right? He's pretty essentially our third choice defensive midfielder, which is fine. He's not meant to be a starter. He's not supposed to see the pitch more than like 20 games a season for more than like 20 minutes. I understand that. But we are using Declan Rice so much that we have to give him a breather. We have to give him a break somehow. Like, we have to. Even for 45 minutes. We're playing 2 games a week for the whole of December. I mean, there's the Crystal Palace game in the Carabao Cup is what, two days away from our Premier League game that we'll have on Sunday, I believe. Like, it's madness. You have to trust your squad. Okay, people are saying Norgard is not that good. Why is he playing for Arsenal? Why did we get him? We got him for a reason. He has to be able to do a job. You are a professional football player. You have to be able to do a job. You have to be able to do what your coach tells you to do. And this is his chance to step up and show that, I don't know, he's worthy of being an Arsenal, right? Show your quality, show your skills, show who you can be. I say start Norgard. You have to play, buddy. Like, you gotta lock in. You have to be good. Like, you are an Arsenal player, right? This is not Brentford. You're here. You have to show some sort of quality. At least 45 minutes worth of quality. If you cannot show 45 minutes worth of quality, then you should not be playing for Arsenal. I don't know. That's just my opinion. But I think you have to do this. You've got to do this lineup. You have to. Let's see. All right, the front three. Oh dear. Okay. It's crazy how Trossard is our most informed attacking player. When he's supposed to be a squad player, and like the fact that I'm about to say this, but I believe that all 3 of these players that I'm about to pick have been worse than Trossard this season, right? They have not been as consistent as him, and that it is almost a downgrade to not have Trossard in this front three. Okay, first is I think Martinelli has to come in. I was gonna go Madueke, but Madueke is more of a he plays more on the right. He doesn't like the left. I think you keep him there. I think you got to go Martinelli. Now, Martinelli is a player that I just in the ideal world, Martinelli is the guy you bring on in the 70th to the 75th minute against tired legs, and he's the guy to like get in behind the defense, make that run. You slot in the ball to him. He has plenty of space. He runs in and he scores. That's Martinelli. Like, look at the Champions League and every one of Martinelli's goals that he scored. I think outside of the Atletico Madrid game, all his goals are scored from like him coming on kind of like a substitute almost, and then like slotting in behind and scoring, right? Or I guess the goal against was the Slavia Prague where Gyökeres hit the post, I believe, and then he slotted in. Sure, but I feel like that's just the perfect Martinelli. Like that's who Martinelli is. But when he plays that like a full 70 to 80 minutes, he's just not that good. It was the same thing with Chelsea. Non-existent. Not there. I think Martinelli's the kind of player where he's one. He's just quick. He's on it. Send him that through ball. He's one-on-one with the keeper. He shoots it, right? Like, one-touch football is Martinelli. Like, it's supposed to be one touch, bam, get it to him. He shoots it, one touch. He shouldn't be dribbling. He shouldn't be having to hold on to the ball, be a touchline winger, keeping the ball, trying to develop and build up play. That's not Martinelli. He's a get in behind the defense. The 75th minute, I'm going to use my pace to outrun the center backs or the left back. Not left back, sorry, right back. That's who Martinelli is. I'll be honest with you people. Look, he's gotta start to get his act together. He's like on a weird, consistent run of form. Like, he's the most consistent, inconsistent player I've ever seen play for Arsenal. Like, I don't know. I don't know if it's like he just needs more freedom or what, but he's got to lock in, man. This is going to be controversial, but I'm not going to start Saka. I don't think Saka should start. I think I would put Madueke. Now, a lot of people would be like, what? Hear me out. Saka has not been good. Saka has not been good this season. He has been woeful. He has been terrible. He has lost pace. Now, I understand he had a hamstring injuries to both of his legs, right? Like, you don't just get that and it doesn't affect you. I understand it's going to affect you. It is what it is. And I understand that. And half of it is not his fault, right? The other half is like, there's nothing you can do. Like, okay, when I say half, I mean half of it is Arteta's fault for playing him so much. The other half of it is you gotta play in a way that doesn't rely so much on drawing fouls, okay? And just because Saka uses his body so much to like guard the ball, fend off defenders, he just puts more and more strain on his body. And like, I wish Saka played more. I don't know. Like, I guess I'm not blaming him for the injury, right? Because that's mad. I think it's more just like, how does he get back from this injury? Does he need more time? Should he come on as a substitute? I don't know. Honestly, it's tough. But I would start Madueke. I'd start Madueke. I'm sorry. Madueke should get the nod. I think he would play the best. in terms of like because Saka's just been terrible, and I know it's the injury, and it's half his fault, but not his fault. It's half his fault because he's still playing terrible, and it's not his fault obviously because you can't say injuries. I think that's what I wanted to say, right? It's not his fault for the injury, but it's his fault for how he's playing after the injury because he's got to lock in. I understand hamstrings can change the way you play forever, but there has been players that have changed the way they play, right? Like you change it. You don't invite so much pressure on yourself. I think that's what I'm trying to get at, right? Never would blame a player for an injury, but I'm just saying like for his performances, he's got to perform better. That's just my opinion about it. What do you guys think, right? Yeah. And up top, I'm gonna Mikel Merino or Victor Gyökeres. Mikel Merino is like one of the most interesting Arsenal players I think I've ever like seen, right? The man has 20 plus goals in 2025. Guys, Mikel Merino almost has 30 goals in 2025. You know how mad that is? Like, hold on. Let me look at his stats. Okay, so Mikel Merino, he's got 2 goals in the Premier League. He's got 2 goals in the Champions League. So that's 4. He's got 6 goals in World Cup qualifiers. That's 10. Then he's got 6 goals from last season that occurred in 2025. Oh my God. And not including his assists, I mean, he's plus 20 GA. That's insane. That's crazy. Okay. Let's see here. Who would I put? I don't know. Who would I put? Would it be Burrito or Gyökeres? That's a good question. Burrito or Gyökeres? What do you guys think? Oh, here you go. Rolex. Marino. Okay. I think this is what I would do. I'd put Marino for this game. I'll put Marino for this game, and then I would put Gyökeres for the Aston Villa game. I mean, there's a lot of rotation, right? Like, what do you guys think? There's a lot of rotation, right? Because half our squad needs to be rotated. They need the rest. There's still enough players, right, that are starting team, right? You still have Saliba, you have Raya, you have Odegaard. I mean, I don't know. I think this is the squad. Like I think this would be it's a good enough rotated squad. You give Timber a break. Calafiori, the reason why he's not in it is because of his yellow card accumulation. Calafiori now has, I believe, 4 yellow cards. 1 more and he's suspended. I would much rather have him available for Villa than I would for this. Like, I'd much rather he not play this game and be available for Villa. That's just my opinion. I would put Miles Lewis-Skelly on it. He needs minutes. Look, he was our starting left back last season. You got to give him a chance. You got to let him take a run at it. That's just my opinion. Yeah, I would go Lewis-Skelly. Hincapié, I think Hincapié is not bad. He wasn't the best in the game against Chelsea, sure, but I think with a partnership with Saliba, he's pretty solid. I would say let him have a chance with Saliba. Develop more chemistries with different defender partnerships. That's just my opinion. Here, what does this say? This said I would start Gyökeres to give him game time. I'm assuming you're kind of talking like before the Villa game. Yeah, I mean, I see where you're coming from in terms of like giving Gyökeres game time, but at the same time, I would bring him in as a sub, right? Sub him in for Mikel Merino at like the 65th minute. Give him about 25 minutes. Hell, you can give him 30 minutes to run at. I think that'll be enough time. That's just my opinion. I think I would go Gyökeres. All right, let's look at this Premier League table. Okay, so so go back. This is who I would start tomorrow. I would give Timber a break. I would give Calafiori a break so he doesn't get disciplined by the FA, because you know how they are. They like to come out after us. I would give Rice a break also. He's been playing just as much as Timber. I'd give him a break. I'd put Zubimendi in the 8. I'd put Norgard in the 6. Play him as a double pivot. I know that's not the most, I guess, physical midfield, and I know Brentford can be a physical one, but I think this is a game where you just gotta give players a rest, and you gotta essentially go with what you can. And I think this is kind of where we're at. I think Odegaard, play him there, just above the double pivot. I think that'll work. You gotta do what you gotta do, right? I think this will work. Martinelli, because Trossard is still, I believe, will still be out. There are reports saying that he might be back for this game. If he is, then I would put Trossard back in. If he's not, I'd keep Martinelli. But like I said, Mikel Arteta is very ominous, so it's kind of hard to tell sometimes who's going to be available and who's not. But based off of what we have, I would go with Martinelli right now. Nani Madueke instead of Saka. Saka has been playing a lot of games. He's not been playing well. He is probably still coming back to full health since the hamstring injury. It's almost been a year. I know it can change how you play forever. I completely understand that. Let's see. Yeah, but I would give Saka a rest. Tell him you come off the bench for this game. And then obviously Mikel Merino. I think he's the most informed striker we have in our squad. And let him go. I know some people have been saying that they would start Gyökeres over Merino, and some people said that Norgard is not good enough, I guess, to play for us. But here's where the squad building comes in. Here's where you have to trust your bench. Here's where these players have to step up. Like, you are a backup. When it's your turn, you have to step up. And that's the situation we find ourselves in. Okay, let's look at the Premier. Let's look at today's action of games. Okay, so the first game, so match day 14. So the first game was Fulham versus Man City. Now I watched this game, and at one point it was Man City 5, Fulham 1, and I fully believed that the game was over. I was like, okay, cool. Man City is 2 points behind us. We got to get our act together. And then Fulham just like score like 3 goals in like 10 minutes. And I'm like, what the heck? It's 5-4. And then they have a goal line clearance. Man City has a goal line clearance. If not, I think it was Gavardio. If not, it could have been 5-5. You know how insane that would have been? I mean, Samuel Chukwueze was on a hat trick. I mean, it was insane. Look at this. Alex Iwobi scored in the 57th minute. So in a span of about 20 minutes, they scored 3 goals. I mean, it was a phenomenal game to watch. Obviously, I was really hoping that they would drop those points. Didn't happen. Whatever. Like I said, a title race, you have to be the one to get yourself to the title. It cannot be other teams stopping other teams. You have to win your games. Win more games than the person in second place. It's that simple. You win more games than the person in second place, you win the title, right? Well, not necessarily, but win most of your games. Win all your games. Don't draw. Get as many losses, goal difference, all that. Just win as many games as you possibly can, and the title is yours, right? If 99% of the time, if you win more games than the person in second place, you win the title, right? 99%. I mean, I think maybe in like 2018, 2019, when Liverpool won more games than City, but I think they drew more games that they weren't able to get the title. But like, that's an anomaly in my opinion. Win more games than the person in second place, you win the title. Everton versus Bournemouth. I didn't watch this game because I was watching the Man City Fulham game. I think Jack Grealish scored. I believe that puts Everton they're up to 9th place now, which is pretty spectacular. Congrats to Everton. They look like they're gonna be almost to a European spot kind of team. Like that 6th to 7th place. And they're right behind their rivals Liverpool. I mean, would you look at that, right? Never I thought that this would be a spectacle, that the Merseyside teams are fighting for who will be above the other this late in the campaign. And then obviously Tottenham versus Newcastle. I kind of watched the end of that after the Fulham Man City game ended. Newcastle was shocking. Okay, look, Tottenham are shit, right? Terrible, whatever. I don't care about them. We batted them 4-1, whatever. But Newcastle, the defending for both of those Tottenham, like, first of all, I don't know what Christian Romero in the first goal was doing up there, but that was a beautiful header. That was a great assist by Mohamed Kudus, I can't lie. But terrible defending for that last goal. I mean, he does an overhead kick, it comes off his shin, bobbles all over, bounces a couple times, and next thing you know, it's getting past Ramsdale. Besides, look, Aaron Ramsdale is shocking. Look, when David Raya first came to the club, I felt a little bit bad for Ramsdale, right? Because for me, it's always club over everything, right? It's the club first, and then the players. But I was sad, right? Aaron Ramsdale had made it in the Premier League team of the season. I thought he was a decent goalkeeper for us, especially where we were at that time. I do understand that we could have easily gone up a level, but it was very sad. I was like, man, like the way we kind of ousted him was a little bit on the sad side. Excuse me. Got bad allergies. But yeah, I was a little bit sad about how things ended with Ramsdale, but he's been woeful. I mean, he has been absolutely terrible since he left. I mean, I still think he's better than Nick Pope because Nick Pope moves like a 35-year-old like WD-40 needing like machinery. Like he's so stiff. Like he needs WD-40 or something. But yeah, it was just terrible defending in my opinion. I think easily Newcastle could have won the game 2-0, 3-0. I didn't think they took the game by the horn, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean Christian Romero, 2 spectacular goals, if you might say. But whatever. Like it's Spurs. They're shit. I don't care about them. Let's see here. So we have Brighton, Aston Villa tomorrow at 12:30. That's the early one. That's gonna be a really good game, and obviously, we play Aston Villa next. Is this at the Aston Villa? No, this is okay. So this is at Brighton. Fair enough. I do think Aston Villa will sneak a 2-1 victory. Burnley versus Crystal Palace. I believe this is at Burnley. Crystal Palace. Yeah, it is at Burnley. Crystal Palace, I think, will win 2-0. Juan Felipe Mateta brace. Burnley they're gonna go down, right? It's unfortunate. I still don't know why Kyle Walker went to Burnley, but he did. Good for him, I guess. Then you got Wolves versus Nottingham Forest. I think this is gonna be a Nottingham Forest win. I know it's at Wolves, but I mean Nottingham Forest I think this is gonna be a Nottingham Forest win. Wolves will lose. Sorry. Wolves are dreadful. They're terrible. They will also be going down. It is what it is. But I'm going to go probably... Okay, so this one I said 2-1, right? This is 2-0. Okay. Yeah, so for this game, I'd say probably like a 1-0. Right? I think that's fair. And obviously, our game, which I predict we're going to win 3-1. I was thinking about a 2-0. Actually, you know what? I'm going to switch to Arsenal. I think Arsenal will win 2-0 against Brentford. We have not had a clean sheet in like 3 games. I think a clean sheet... a clean sheet is due. That's just my opinion. I think a clean sheet is due. So I'm going to go 2-0 Arsenal. Let's go, guys. Come on, Gunners. Leeds versus Chelsea. Man, okay. It is at Leeds. Chelsea are a team to tie with Arsenal and drop points at Leeds. But I think I'm going to have to go Chelsea will win 3-1. I think Leeds will score. Chelsea have one of the most inconsistent back lines in the Premiership. So I will say they will at least concede 1 goal. I'll go 3-1. I'll go 3-1 Chelsea. Liverpool versus Sunderland. Now, this is... Why does it feel like we're the only Big Six team to play Sunderland at their ground? Right? Like, everybody else seems to play Sunderland at home. Like, what? Anyway, I would go... I'm going to go 2-1 to Sunderland. Why? If I'm being honest, West Ham could have gotten something out of the Liverpool game. I think West Ham could have at least tied with Liverpool, if not beaten them. I know Isak got his goal, and then I think Cody Gakpo got a last-minute goal. But if I'm being honest with you, West Ham could have gotten something, in my opinion. And please don't sue me. I am not a legal advisor, but I think Lucas Paqueta is gambling. Is that fair to say? I think he's doing something like because the red card he had was just like, oh my goodness, like it looks like you're gambling. Like you put a bet on that you're gonna get a red card that game. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I know he was freed of all charges or whatever, but I don't know, man. It looks very suspicious. I mean, that was just such a... But anyway, regardless, I think Liverpool will lose 2-1 at home. I don't think Liverpool are back. I know people have been saying that Liverpool are only a few points off of City, who are a few points off of us. Well, here's the thing. Liverpool they're not back. Liverpool are out of the title race. Like, let's just get this straight. They're not in the title race. They have lost 6 games. When was the last time a champion lost more than 5 games? I can't remember the last time a champion of the Premier League lost more than 5 games. Liverpool have lost 6 games. They're not coming back. Okay? They're at 21. I think, they have 21 points. We have 30 points. We are 9 points ahead of them with a better goal difference. Meaning, they would have to get their goal difference up to ours, which I believe theirs is at 2. Ours is at, I think 15. They would have to get their goal difference up to us, or they would have to win an additional game. So essentially they are 4 games behind us right now. Okay, I know the season's still going on, and I know I don't want to get ahead of myself. Right? I've done that before. I thought the 22-23 season we were going to win it around Christmas. I made my mistake. I've grown up. But I don't see Liverpool being back in this title race. They're not in the title race. They're not. Like, if Liverpool gets a defensive cover, I think that's their most important thing. Is they need to get a defensive cover that would, that would give both Van Dijk and Konate kind of like competition. I could possibly see them, kind of solidifying themselves and picking up points more consistently. But at this point in time, whether it's us or City that wins the title, Liverpool have shot themselves in the foot. They're not going to be in this title race. They're not. Period, right? No offense to Liverpool fans. So I think excuse me, I think a lot of people who say that Liverpool are in the title race, I think it's just for media. I don't think they actually are. I think they're done. Man United is ahead of Liverpool, but they're not considered in the title race. Why is Liverpool considered in the title race? If Man United are not in the title race, right? Nobody says Man United in the title race. Man United have had the same exact consistency with Liverpool, right? I mean, am I lying? If you look at the whole season up until now, Man United and Liverpool, I think, are tied on points, right? Look at this. Let's look at the standing. No, let's look at the standing. Okay. Man United are level on points with Liverpool with a better goal difference, but nobody says Man United are in a title race, right? In their last 5, Man United has won 2, drawn 2, lost 1. Liverpool in their last 5 have won 2 and lost 3. But yeah, people are going to say that Liverpool are in a title race because they beat a West Ham team that are, straddling the relegation zone. And if I'm being honest, Luis Paqueta is very suspicious with that red card that he had. Like, come on, man. Liverpool are not in the title race. Stop it. You win one game and all of a sudden you're in the title race. Like, it's bad. I mean, they're 9 points underneath us. 9 whole points. That is 3 games. And we have a better goal. Okay, so we have a goal difference of 18. They have a goal difference of 0. 0. They're not in the title race. I refuse to believe it. Whoever thinks they're in the title race, whatever. That's on you. I don't believe it. They're not in a title race. Whatever. But like, if somebody came up to me and said, "Hey, what would you consider the title race?" Right? Not top four battle, right? Because Aston Villa is in the top four, but they're not in the title race. I would say if you have more than 2 home losses. No, I'd say if you have more than 3 home losses. If you have more than 3 home losses already, you're not in the title race. Because if you cannot protect your home ground, how the hell are you going to be in the title race? When have you ever heard somebody say, "Oh yeah, we've lost like 5 times at home in a title race"? Nobody ever says that. Like, come on. So, regardless, Liverpool are not in a title race. That's just my opinion. City are in a title race. I will not lie. I had a lot of friends. I have friends that are City fans, and I have friends that are Liverpool fans, and I have friends that are Arsenal fans. The Liverpool fans were saying that they were still in the title race. I said, "No, you're not. You're not in the title race. You're just not in the title race. I don't know what to tell you. You're not in the title race, and that's fine. Get your team together, get Europe, do decent in the UCL, and come again next year. But you're not in the title race this season." The City fans, I know a lot of my Arsenal friends were getting ahead of themselves, saying that Man City, we could slowly start making a gap with them. I said, well, no, because we keep drawing games. Okay, look at this. Let me take you back to the standings. Man City have lost 4 games. They've lost 4 games. Arsenal has lost 1 game. And yet, as of this moment right now, we are only 2 points ahead of them. And I say, and I've always said this, and people have always they say chimney. They say Jonas. They say chimney. What are you talking about? And I always say, the number one issue with Arsenal is we draw too many games. That's the problem with Arsenal. Last year, let's look at the table last year. Last year, we won 20 games. Okay? That is 5 less than Liverpool. We tied 14 times. 14 games ended in a tie. And lost 4. So we had the same amount of losses as Liverpool. Brilliant. We had the same. But yet it was the draws that killed us. We had way too many draws, and I'm seeing the same issue with this season. Also, I'm seeing us already on 3 draws. Okay, we gotta win. You just gotta win your games. You can't scrape by with 1 point. 1 point is not always gonna save you. You gotta have your draws turned into wins. We have to win. We can't keep drawing. You keep drawing, Man City are gonna, that's one thing I said. I said my only concern with Arteta and Arsenal is the fact that we play games not to lose. We don't play games to win. Man City, right? Man City, they go for it, right? There's a reason why they scored 32 goals, and nobody else is even close to 30, right? I think it's us and Chelsea. Man City have scored 32 goals. Okay, they scored 32 goals. Okay, Pep's teams they go for it. Okay? Arsenal, we gotta play to win, not to lose. I know it's a weird statement, but essentially what I'm saying is that in a title race, a draw, if I'm being honest, can sometimes be a loss. Okay? And I think last year was a perfect example, right? You turn 3 or 4 of those draws, right? The draw versus Everton, the draw versus Crystal Palace, where we were up, I think, 2-0. You turn those into loss. That's 6 points instead of 2 points. Boom. You're getting closer to Liverpool. We have to go for wins, okay? We're in a title race. We have to go for wins. You 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 don't go for draws. You go for wins. Get that win in. Get the win in your head. I'm gonna go for the win. I'm gonna go for the win. I'm gonna go for the win. Send your players out. You gotta go for the win. Now I understand. At times a draw is necessary and is an important point. But at times also, when Man City are winning, a draw is just not enough. You have to go for these wins, right? Tomorrow, we have to go to the mindset that is a must-win game. It is a must-win game. We have to win the game. A draw is not enough, because if we draw tomorrow, and God forbid we lose to Aston Villa, and Man City beats whoever they're playing next week. Let's see, who's Man City playing next week? Sunderland at home. If Man City beats Sunderland at home, and we lose to Aston Villa, they overtake us as the league leaders. That's what I'm saying. You have to throw obviously you have to do it in a smart way, but you have to throw the kitchen sink at Brentford. You have to throw the kitchen sink at Brentford. You need to come out of that game with a win. A draw is a loss. A draw is a loss. Okay? A draw is a loss. If Man City keeps winning their games, we have to match that. Okay? We have a 5-game cushion. I know a lot of people say, oh, but you can't win every one of your games. Okay. If Man City is winning all their games, then we have to win all our games. It's that simple. There's no if, there's no buts, there's no maybes. If Man City is winning all their games, we have to win all our games. It's that simple. There's no maths about it. There's no complication, right? Man City wins at Fulham. Yes, they let in 4 goals. Yes, Fulham seemed like they almost came back. Doesn't matter. Man City still got 3 points. With that 3 points, they've gotten closer to us, right? Now, obviously, goal difference starts to get more important towards the end of the season if we're all within 1 or 2 or 3 points of, towards May, sure. But as of right now, it doesn't matter, right? If Pep's team wins 5-4 and we draw 1-1, Pep's team still got the 3. They still got the 3 points. We got the 1 point. It doesn't matter. It's the win. You grind out wins. That's how you win a title. You have to grind out wins. Like that. It's that simple. You grind out wins. Keep it moving. You grind out wins. You keep on moving. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I think games like Brentford, like tomorrow, you can't sit back. You can't think, oh no, let's not concede a goal. That doesn't work. You have to go for the win. You can't say, oh, let's not lose. No. It's win. It's win, or if we tie, cool. We go through. We get a point. Now we're 3 points ahead of Man City. They have Sunderland at home. We're going to Villa Park. You see what I mean? That's what I'm saying. And that's my only critique to Arteta sometimes is that Arteta just he tries too hard to not lose games. And I'm like, dude, you have to risk losing the game in order to win the game. You have to go for it. I need 5, 6, 7 shots on target. I'm talking about the goalkeeper having 3 or 4 shot stops. One of their defenders clearing one off the line. Sure, if that all happens and we tie the game, then we put everything together. We did everything we can to go for it. But if it's like the 89th minute, we scored a goal from a set piece, they scored an open play goal, or however they did a little counter attack, and it's 1-1, that's not good enough. If we tie the game 1-1, Man City's won. 3 is greater than 1. We have to go for these wins. And that's what I was telling a lot of my Arsenal friends. I was like, look, we have to risk. We have to. Because every single time Man City wins, we have to match them. Now, if we match Man City in the way they're winning, that's completely fine by me. I know people are saying, oh, defensive solidity and, oh, best defense in Europe. That's fine. But best defense in Europe doesn't win you anything. Like, I love what Arteta's done, right? He's built a phenomenal team. He's done great. But I don't care. Best defense in Europe, best whatever, scores most set piece, stop the the least amount of shots on target. It doesn't matter. You have to. If we concede 4 goals and we score 5 and win the game, I'm completely fine with that. That's a win. That's 3 points. Versus if we, do a 0-0 draw, right? You win a game 5-4 or a 0-0 draw, right? People say, "Oh, of course you take the 5-4 draw." Okay, that's fine. But it's not just that. It's the fact that even though you did let in a lot of goals and sure your defense might look leaky and streaky and whatever, you still grinded out the win. It's about wins. Doesn't matter how you win them, you win. That's how it is. I have a friend. He's a Real Madrid fan, and I remember after Real Madrid won the 2024 Champions League, I was in awe because Man City I thought was better than Real Madrid. Bayern was better than Real Madrid. Dortmund was better than Real Madrid all those 3 times they won. But yet somehow they just grinded out the wins. And I was like, man, I just sometimes wish Arsenal was like that. It's fine if the other team was better than us, had better defensive solidity, had more possession, whatever. That's fine. Grind out the win. And I will give Arteta credit. The Bayern München game that we played last Wednesday was one of those games where it was like he was like, we'll sit back, we'll let you have the ball, and that's what he did. Bayern had the ball, they were passing it about, whatever, and then bam, we hit him with a corner kick goal, and then they scored whatever, and then they had a little bit more possession, and then bam, before Calafiori, boom, slots it to Madueke, boom, we scored, right? That's the game. Not everything has to be like a perfect rosy game. Not every game has to be, us having defensive solidity and having more possessions and having more passes, keeping the ball longer, trying to create that perfect goal to score or whatever. Score. You scored a goal off a weird bouncy whatever. Cool. That's a goal, right? You won the game scrappy. That's fine. That's a goal. That's the goal. The goal is to win games. However you win them. If you win them pretty, that's awesome. If you win them dirty, that's also awesome. Because at the end of the day, 3 points is 3 points. And so, one thing that makes me nervous, I can't lie. I know people are like, look, Chimney, we're in the top of the table. We're 2 points clear. That's not my problem. I don't care. It's not even about the fact that it's December. That's not even my issue. My issue is, are we capable of winning games the same way and with the same volume that City wins their games? That's the issue, right? I think Newcastle type game, right? We go down for 40, 50 minutes. We're locked out, but we grit and grind out a result and win. I think Chelsea was like that opportunity. Chelsea was the opportunity to kind of like grind out a result, That's just my opinion, though. Yeah, I don't know. Rolex. Yeah, we have to keep winning. Can't lie. Yeah, no, absolutely. Like we have you have to find results. That's how champions are made. And Rolex is completely right. You've gotta. I'm sorry. You have to win. You have to just grind it out. You gotta do what you gotta do. And like that's the only thing I'm nervous about. Can we keep up with City? Can we match City? Can we match City's wins? However they win them. Can we do the exact same thing? Right? Could we have won the game in full? I mean, yes, we won the game in Fulham 1-0, but are we capable of doing that last minute against Leeds? And like maybe that's not needed. Maybe we dominate teams so much, and that's perfectly fine. But guess what? Not every single game we're going to be playing a Brighton or a Brentford or a Leeds. We're going to be playing Sunderland's, Chelsea's, Aston Villa's. Those are the tricky games you have to navigate. You got to win. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, so we got Man City versus West Ham. That's a Thursday game. Wow. Oh, that's right, because Man United, did I say Man City? I'm sorry, Man United. So, it apparently Man United hold on. Let's see here. Okay, so Man United obviously are not in anything. They're not in Europe. They're not in any. They're not in the Carabao Cup, and neither are West Ham. So they threw them on a Thursday at 1:00 p.m. How the mighty have fallen. Okay, what did it say? Everyone healthy, we can win the league. Yes, I agree. I hate to say it, but I think the issue is that we have a lot of injuries, like a lot of injuries, like a ludicrous amount. Like we'll literally have somebody come in, and then like 2 seconds later, like somebody else is injured. It's crazy. But, it is what it is. All right, well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate the live watch along. I will not be able to live stream the game, but I will do a live reaction. If you're in the United States, in my time zone, that would be tomorrow, which is in a few minutes. I will do a live reaction. So I guess I'll just say I'll do a live reaction later on today after the game, around 8:00 Mountain Standard Time. So yeah, if you want to come on in and check it out, I would really appreciate that. Thank you very much for all the folks that decided to come and join. I really appreciate it. You all are the best. Everybody stay safe, and peace.